So this is my third time recording this video, and I'm going to be real quick. I'm Ryan from Ryan's Guitar Stuff. This is my fretless. So, real quick, I'm going to talk about putting a fretless together. Okay? Do I recommend it? If you're interested, I do. It can be a fun instrument. Would I recommend doing it to an expensive guitar? God, no. There's better alternatives out there. So, I am going to show you some stuff. So, this guitar is a parts caster I put together from parts lying around in my house. So, the neck is about 5 to 6 years old. It's a big baseball bat neck, and it's something I just had lying about. The tuners are, again, locking tuners I had lying about from when I sold the guitar and I took the tuners off it to keep. They're cheap locking tuners. The body itself, if you've been on the channel long enough, you would recognize the body. From about 2 years ago, I got a mate to paint the body for me, and this is that body. And the pickguard assembly is from my black Strat on the wall there with the Kimmins in it. So all the parts are just parts I had lying about. Talking about putting the fretless together is a different thing altogether. So some things to be aware of. When I took out the frets of this, I didn't do it with a soldering iron, because I didn't care. Which made it 10 times harder, for the pure reason that if I took them out with a soldering iron, it would have meant that the wood would have been softer and I wouldn't have gotten as many chips. By not doing that, I got a lot more chips and meant I had to do a lot more gluing to get a tidier fret line as a result. Okay? And I got it. It just took a lot more super glue. And it kind of goes against your breath, the super glue does. Anyway, the fret markers are 2-part kind of Bondo solution, but wood grade filler Bondo, if that makes sense. It's a very strong Bondo wood filler that comes in a 2-part mixture, a filler and kind of a catalyst to start the curing. But yeah, I put that in it, and it's very tough. It took ages to sand off, and once I got it sand off, it felt real nice. It feels lovely to play. Second, so I'm not worried about the markers coming out or anything. What happened was I started sanding in the middle instead of sanding the whole length, and I kind of knew this from when I got through this spot. For example, so there's no dead spots there, but on the high E, there's some kind of buzzing spots in it. It's usually around. So there's some buzzing spots that are a bit irritable. But the way to fix that is to straighten the neck, clamp it here, and straighten it as flat as possible, and then level it with a beam itself. So that's what you would do there. But yeah, would I recommend fretless to people? Yes and no. For the pure reason is it's fun to mess around with, like doing the that's all fun and well and good, completely out of tune, but like fun and well and good. Where it, so that's one thing that it makes it a bit fun. It's a bit of a laugh. It gets you playing a bit more in the way that you wouldn't usually play. Because you can't really bend on this, because you'd be hitting the wood, going against the wood grain, and it kind of chews up the wood grain in such a way that you don't want, so you can't bend on it. So it puts you in a different perspective, which is good for coming up as a creative tool. And that's what this is for me. But the other reason I've got this, and it's also the other reason I wanted to do this, is for ear training. It's a very good tool for ear training with regards of pitch. So for example, if I'm playing a C pentatonic or a C Ionian, I would have to think of like, that's flat. So I know I'm playing slightly out on that, and I can tell, but it's good for picking your ear, because you can tell, you can do a lot more ear training and build up your hearing capabilities of picking notes and hearing discernible differences between notes. So, for example, if I go that, I know that's out there because I can hear modulation that shouldn't be there, and there's no modulation. It's all about ear training as this piece goes for me personally. Um, would I use it in a live situation? God, no. It's like if I tried to play Wicked Game, you can already see I'm not playing it right. That bit, that's completely out. Um, but yeah, it's very awkward to play your normal lead stuff on it, because your A chord is now that. You can hear a good bit of freckles there, but you have to do that instead of doing that, because actually I can do it with the octave. That's flat. That's there. So you can hear it itself. You can't really. You have to shift the note up to be on pitch, because you have to play where the fret would be. So it's good for getting your training as far as your ear and shows. It's just a different thing to play, really. It's a different instrument at the end of the day as far as technique. So yeah, I've been Ryan from Ryan's Guitar Stuff, and see you next time. This has been just a weird video to put up just in this kind of situation, as much as timing, because I can't really say what's going on in the world because of YouTube stuff. Yay! But you know what I mean. It's all over the news, and you know what I mean. But yeah, keep safe and see you next time. Bye.